Hello, students. You are welcome to Unit 4 of this module. And in this unit, we'll be looking at the role of instructional materials in the teaching and learning of physics. And in the first session of this unit, we'll be looking at instructional materials. My name is Patrick Ej. Now, at the end of this session, you should be able to explain instructional materials. State the importance of instructional materials. Now, the resources for teaching physics are almost inexhaustible and limited only by the creativity and resourcefulness of the teacher. So there are a whole lot of resources that can be used in the teaching and learning of physics. However, for a teacher to identify the necessary or appropriate resource that can be used in the teaching and learning of a particular concept is dependent on the creativity and resourcefulness of the teacher. And they include all forms of information careers that can be used to promote and encourage effective teaching and learning activities. So any form of information career that can be used to enhance students' learning are instructional materials. Now, instructional materials are those materials that are used to aid in the transfer of information from one to another. And it can also be defined as the content that conveys the essential skills and knowledge of a subject in the school curriculum through a medium or a combination of media for conveying information to a student. So that material that has the potential to convey a knowledge, to convey a skill that is in the curriculum to learners is an instructional material. And in other words, they are educational resources that is used to improve students' knowledge, their abilities, their skills, and to monitor their assimilation of information to contribute to their overall development and upbringing. Instructional materials for physics include textbooks, laboratory manuals, other books about scientific matters, kits, software, example like the PhET simulation. We have CDs, other multimedia materials such as videos, PowerPoint presentations. These are visual aids, articles, materials for project development. All these are instructional materials at the disposal of the physics teacher that a physics teacher can use to make the teaching and learning of physics very efficient and effective. Now, what are the importance of instructional materials in teaching and learning of physics? And the primary purpose of instructional materials is to make learning more effective and also to facilitate it. That is the main reason why a teacher will incorporate instructional materials into the teaching learning process. It is to facilitate learning. It is to make learning more effective. It is to enhance students' learning. It is to maximize learners' understanding of the various concepts that will be presented to them. And it also helps to clarify important physics concepts. Instructional materials also help the teacher to meet individual differences of the learners in the class by using aids that appeal to different senses. Now, mind you that now in Ghana we are practicing inclusive education. And so you may be in a class where in this class you may have a visually impaired student in your class. And so when all your teaching is said that you are only using visual aids, things that we can only see to demonstrate or illustrate a concept to a learner, you realize that the one who is visually impaired is not going to benefit from this instructional material. But when you are able to use, let's say, an audiovisual, in this case, the learner who is visually impaired will also benefit from this instructional material. Again, instructional materials are used to supplement verbal explanation of concepts or any description so that the lesson could be real to the students. So, the concepts that maybe you are talking about, when students find it difficult to grasp or understand what you are presenting to them, you can use an instructional material to depict everything that you are saying, and that even makes whatever thing that you were presenting to the students real to them, which will also improve their understanding. And learners participating in improvisation of instructional materials makes them exposed to creativity, innovation, and curiosity, all of which are fundamental to teaching and learning of science. So the teacher, you go to a class with an improvised material, using a material in the learner's environment to improvise a very useful instructional material. You realize when your learners are being exposed to this, they also become creative. They also become innovative. They become curious. They may even want to develop much of these materials for use in the school. And instructional materials also arouse and sustain students' interest in physics. So it also has the potential of arousing and sustaining students' interest in learning physics. Also, instructional materials give all students in the class the opportunity to share experiences necessary for new learning. So you present a chart to students in the class, and you can ask students to bring their views on what they see, to share their experiences. All these are means through which instructional materials enhances students' learning. And instructional materials also help make learning more permanent. So the things that the learners see, those that they touch, the things that they interact with, all these are materials that will enhance their learning. And at the end of the day, because they are concrete materials that they interacted with, they are able to reproduce them when they are being asked. Instructional materials also provide a teacher with interesting and compelling platforms for conveying information, since they motivate learners to want to learn more and more. So you realize that anytime you go to the class and you are teaching physics, and for every concept you are able to find or come out with appropriate and relevant instructional materials, you realize that these materials are going to motivate your learners to learn, and they are always going to enjoy your physics class. Students, today we have looked at instructional materials, and we also look at the importance of instructional materials. Now, as we bring the session to an end, state six importance of instructional materials.